Have you ever wondered why the most elegant women in the world, those from old money families or upper class backgrounds, don't seem to carry the flashy designer bags we see everywhere? Today, we'll dive into 11 compelling reasons why upper class women never carry trendy designer bags and what they choose instead. The bag as a tool for connection. What if your bag could be more than just a fashion accessory? For upper class women, it often is. They see their bags as tools to create meaningful connections and tell personal stories. Rather than buying the latest trend, these women might carry a humble leather tote filled with carefully chosen items, books, stationery, or even thoughtful gifts. A refined minimalist bag allows the focus to shift away from the bag itself and onto the person carrying it. When meeting someone new, their choice of bag sparks interest, not envy. Think about Jane Birkin. For example, imagine someone pulls out a beautifully bound journal from a timeless leather tote instead of the latest it bag. It's a subtle invitation to engage, to wonder about their life, their interests, their stories. This use of a bag as a reflection of personality and intellect, rather than as a status symbol, is an art, and one we can all incorporate into our lives. What would your ideal bag say about you? Let's talk in the comments. Bags that complement. Here's another secret. One of the main reasons upper-class women avoid trendy bags is because they don't want their accessories to steal the show. Their wardrobe isn't about one big item, it's about balance and harmony. An upper-class woman knows that her bag should complement her outfit, not compete with it. For this reason, you'll often see them gravitating toward neutral tones and basic designs. Think soft camel leather, deep navy, or classic black. A timeless, structured bag effortlessly highlights their presence without drawing unwanted attention. Unlike heavily logoed or bold bags, these pieces quietly whisper, "I'm elegant," instead of screaming, "Look at me." Heritage. Have you ever held on to something because of its emotional value? For these women, the bags they carry often have a good history. Rather than buying the latest trend, these women carry a bag that's been passed down through generations. Imagine a perfectly worn leather satchel that once belonged to a grandmother, or a vintage clutch that has been lovingly kept. These pieces carry memories and serve as a tangible connection to their family legacy. Every scratch or mark tells a story. Every stitch speaks of craftsmanship from another era. This profound sense of continuity and respect for the past is something that cannot be replicated by the latest designer release. Now think about your own bags. Do they hold stories, or are they just placeholders for your belongings? Durability over decoration. Now let's talk practicality. Upper-class women often lead busy lives. They're balancing careers, philanthropy, social engagements, and also travel. For them, a bag isn't just an accessory. It's a companion that must stand the test of time. Trendy bags, while often beautiful, do sacrifice durability for the sake of aesthetics. Thin straps or delicate materials might look good for a season, but quickly wear out with regular use. Instead, upper-class women choose bags made of high-quality leather or materials designed to last decades, not months. These bags typically have reinforced stitching, functional compartments, and sturdy handles, all while maintaining an elegant look. Take, for example, the simplicity of a structured leather tote or a classic crossbody that can fit both errands and an evening gathering. When every element of the bag is crafted with both form and function in mind, it becomes more than a fashion statement. It becomes a dependable part of daily life. Investing in timelessness. Here's another interesting perspective. For upper-class women, a bag is more than an expense. It's an investment, but not in the sense of chasing the latest hyped item. Instead, they invest in pieces that increase in both style and value over time. Classic bags, such as a vintage Hermes Kelly or a well-kept Chanel 2.55, don't just hold their value, they increase in worth as the years go by. These aren't just purchases, they're heritages, meant to be passed down to the next generation. But it's not just about financial value. The emotional and cultural weight these bags carry is equally important. Think about a handbag gifted to celebrate a milestone, such as a graduation, a marriage, or the birth of a child. These moments label the bag with a sense of permanence and meaning that no fleeting trend can match. In a world where fast fashion is huge, investing in a timeless, high-quality bag is a statement. It says, "I'm here for the long game." And upper-class women love that. Minimalism. In a world that's obsessed with bigger, louder, and flashier, upper-class women understand the quiet power of minimalism. Their approach is all about letting their confidence and presence speak for themselves. When they choose a bag, it's not about tons of decorations, huge logos, or trendy designs. Instead, they choose clean lines, timeless shapes, and muted tones. A simple leather clutch, a basic tote, or a crossbody in a neutral color can make more of an impact than the trendiest logo-splattered design ever could. Why? Because less is more. Restraint, in their world, is the biggest luxury. It's not about being basic, it's about knowing what truly matters and focusing on quality over quantity. And isn't that refreshing in a culture that often equates worth with how loudly you can show off? Imagine walking into a room where everyone is trying to outshine each other, and you, with your simple, elegant bag, command all the attention without saying a word. That's the power of true sophistication. What about you? Are there areas in your life where you could embrace this philosophy? Let me know in the comments below. Customization. For many upper-class women, the ultimate luxury isn't a designer logo, it's personalization. Customization allows them to own something entirely unique, tailored to their lifestyle and preferences. Monogrammed leather totes, bespoke satchels, or even commissioned designs from lesser-known brands reflect individuality far better than an off-the-shelf it bag ever could. These women often work with bag maker to create bags that speak to their personal taste and needs. Think subtle embroidery of initials or an inside lining in their favorite shade. It's a quiet way of saying, "This is mine and no one else's," without the need for loud branding. Why follow someone else's fashion rules when you can create your own legacy piece? That's the question they seem to ask. Do you own anything personalized, and does it make you feel more connected to it? Comment down below. Bags that aren't even bags. Here's a curveball. Many upper-class women have redefined the concept of a bag altogether. Instead of traditional handbags, you'll often find them carrying alternative options that suit their quiet luxury lifestyle. Think small leather portfolios, classic briefcases, or even woven baskets for casual outings. The point is not to stick to social norms, but to choose what aligns with their needs and settings. A refined portfolio for documents or a functional yet elegant travel pouch can make just as much of a statement as a Hermes Birkin, if not more. These unconventional choices highlight that style isn't confined to one mold. Feel free to apply this to other areas in your life as well. Supporting sustainable brands. Moving on. In a world driven by mass production, there's something incredibly classy about choosing handmade materials. Many upper-class women gravitate toward independent brands and artisans that focus on craftsmanship, sustainability, and ethical practices. It's not uncommon for these women to visit small ateliers or local leatherworkers instead of mainstream luxury stores. This isn't just about exclusivity, it's about putting quality first and supporting creators who prioritize the artistry of their work over large-scale profit. By doing this, they're making another statement. True luxury isn't just what you wear, it's how you support the world around you. Vintage bags. Another thing you'll often notice about upper-class women is their appreciation for the past. Vintage bags play a huge role in their wardrobes, not only as nostalgic throwbacks, as I already mentioned, but also as deliberate, meaningful choices. These bags often come from iconic eras, perhaps a 1950s crocodile clutch or a 1970s Gucci saddlebag. What makes them special isn't just their aesthetic or rarity, it's the idea of owning a piece of history. Carrying a vintage bag is the definition of sophistication and shows respect for craftsmanship that modern mass-produced designs often don't. Vintage pieces also offer a sense of exclusivity no new design can replicate. Unlike today's limited editions, which are still mass-marketed to thousands, a carefully preserved vintage find is often one of a kind. Have you ever inherited or purchased a vintage item? How does it make you feel when you carry it? Let's talk about it in the comments. Barely there bags. But sometimes, less really is more. And in the case of upper-class women, this can mean skipping the handbag altogether. Yes, you heard that right. For ultra-minimal occasions, you'll see them carrying almost nothing at all. Maybe a slim card holder tucked into a coat pocket or a silk pouch tied around their wrist. This isn't just about practicality, it's about rejecting the idea that one must accessorize to be complete. Their confidence comes from within, not from what's hanging off their arm. This barely there approach says, I have everything I need and I don't need to prove it. And they're right. The practical tote. Now, I already mentioned totes, but let's go into a bit more detail. When it comes to errands or casual dinners, upper-class women often reach for simple, functional totes. But here's the twist. These aren't branded canvas bags or luxury market totes. Instead, they might carry a beautifully made but simple leather bag from a local craftsman or even a nondescript nylon tote with perfect stitching. These totes are meant to serve a purpose, not to act as status symbols. They show that practicality and elegance can coexist without sacrificing one for the other. Even for basic tasks, their choices reflect quality and intention and prove that good taste isn't reserved for formal occasions. So, what can we take from all of this? For upper-class women, bags are never just bags. They're extensions of their values, reflections of their lifestyles, and, in many cases, pieces of history. Whether it's through vintage treasures, customized creations, or practical totes, they've mastered the art of carrying elegance, not just on their arms, but in the way they live.